What's going on, my brothers and sisters, my kings and queens? How y'all doing? This is your boy Reggie Reg, and today I want to talk to you about planning. Some good reasons, and I'm gonna give you and show you some ways in which I plan myself personally. Now, I think generally speaking, everybody understands why they should plan, right? Y'all know the 5 P's, right? The proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? So when you plan, it just helps you to prepare for what's going to happen, and also planning it gives you kind of a visual of what's going to happen, but it also causes passion and excitement because when you plan things, you know what's going to happen at the end. You know why you're working so hard, why you're getting up so early, why you're doing all this studying, why you're doing all this work, why you putting up with stuff that probably you normally wouldn't put up with, because you know the end result. You know what it's going to look like at the end. So planning can also provide some enthusiasm, some passion, some excitement as well, right? So those are just some basic ideas on planning, right? So real quick, I'm going to show you some things that I use to plan. So I got this little book. I don't know, it cost me about maybe $3-4 at Walgreens or something like that. But in this book, I actually plan out my my exercise, right? I'm not sure if you can see this or not. Let me try to pull it up close so you can kind of get the idea of what it is. So you see I got the day, and I got my lifts and how many I do it, right? On the other side, I got the meals I've eaten that day. And at the bottom is things that I drink. Okay? So this is just the plan of my exercise plan, for the week that I've been using to help me get gains and just do better with my health. Right? So this is how I track it and how I plan on what I'm gonna do for the next day or the upcoming week, right? So if you're somebody who's looking into working out, I highly recommend that you write it down, that you plan what you're going to do before you get there, because that way you know exactly what you're going to do, and that helps you get in and out as opposed to wasting time in the gym, not knowing what you're going to do, or just spending 5 or 10 minutes because you don't know what you're going to do, or spending hours because you're doing too much, right? So I definitely recommend you get the little book. Another thing is, I journal my life. I journal my life. Now, you can say, Reggie, what they got to do with planning, right? I'm not gonna pull this up to the camera because there's a lot of personal stuff in here. But you can say, Reggie, how does this help with planning? Well, when you journal your life, right, and this journal is 2014, actually. When I look back at who I was in 2014, it helps me reflect, right, on my thinking, my thoughts, what I did, what I didn't do, what I should have done. And it helped me plan for 2015 on the things I need to do. Understand what I'm saying? So that's the big importance of the journal for me, right? That's my biggest journal. Now, journals got different names depending on gender, right? If it's a woman, they call it a diary, right? Males have journals, right? Whatever you want to call it, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to call it. I recommend that you get you a journal. Another good thing about the journal is, for me, is you give it to your kids, right? You give it to your kids. And what this does is it kind of lets your kids know what struggles you had. It lets your kids know what you dealt with and how you dealt with it, and even how long it took for you to get over it, right? And so that's another good thing, because I know for me personally, my dad wasn't there, right? So a lot of struggles and things that I faced, I either had to ask questions, read books, or pray on it and figure it out myself. So it would have been nice to know how he dealt with certain issues in life, how he looked at certain things. Because even though we're two different people, I'm sure a lot of the things that I dealt with, he did too, right? And it would have helped me to deal with it. So the journal actually, when you write it for the year, you can kind of reflect on certain things in the journal, and it helps you to prepare for next year. And as far as the person you want to be, things, habits you want to break, things you want to accomplish, things like that, right? Maybe you don't write in the journal often enough. So maybe that's something when you look back on the year, you say maybe I need to spend more time in my journal, right? So a journal I think is huge, right? So definitely get the journal. This was something that maybe cost me like, I don't know, maybe $10. Office Max, I think it was. So journal. Another thing that I do is a planner, which I think that was the first thing people was expecting for me to put up, right? Was a planner. Absolutely get a planner. Now, initially, I was that guy who tried to memorize everything. Don't be that person, right? I understand you got a great memory. I understand that you just feel like, man, I know what I'm supposed to do. I'll do it when I'm supposed to do it. The further you get into your knowing, and the further you get into your calling, the further you get into what you want and who you being is, you're gonna be busy. Right? You're gonna be busy, you're gonna be working, you're gonna be dealing with a lot of things, and depending on what you got on in your life, right? If you got a wife and children, or just a girlfriend, period, right? If you gotta deal with family, right? If you gotta deal with friends, certain events that you wanna go to and make, certain things like that, right? You wanna plan it out so that you don't miss those things. Now, me personally, I have a calendar. A week at a glance is my calendar, right? It's a week at a glance, Monday through Sunday. And I like it this way because I get to see what I have going on that week, right? What I get to plan what I'm doing professionally, what I'm doing personally, what I'm doing spiritually, what I'm doing physically, what I'm doing financially. Right? I get to plan all this week, and at the end of the week, I can say I read my Bible every day of the week. I can say, I don't know, I read a book every day of the week. I can say I prayed every day of the week. I can say, you know what, all this week, I sent off emails on time like I was supposed to do. All this week, I spent at least an hour working on that book like I told myself I was. Or maybe I missed a couple days, right? I missed a couple days this week, but next week, I'm going to make sure I don't. And that's how you can also manage improvement within yourself as well. When you can visualize it, you can actually see it, right? So, again, just something just small, how we can make a huge difference. It's little things every day that makes a difference over the course of a year, right? You can imagine how reading a couple pages every day, how many books you would have read by the end of the year, or writing just a couple for 30 minutes to an hour every day, how many pages you would have written to get your book out by the end of the year, right? So, I mean, just little things like that that help you to improve on being a person, being a professional, being a mother, being a father, being a leader, being a role model, right? Different things in life that can help you. So definitely get the planner. I think that'll be huge for everybody, right? So in this planner, I don't know, it was like maybe $10 or something like that. So planner, journal, and if you're into the gym, little workout book. You keep it in your pocket, right? So these are my 3 tools. Now, me personally, I like to write it down. There are also apps you can use with your phone. You got apps where you can plan things out on your phone. There's workout apps you can use with your phone, right? There's spiritual apps that you can get into, all that, right? So you got your phone too. It's just me personally, I like to write it down. When I write it down, it helps me to remember, and I love the fact that I get to cross it off after I do it. It just makes me feel like I'm doing something and I feel accomplished. So that's just something that I do personally. I I recommend you do it too. Find your niche, find your way of doing it that helps you, and you do that. You do that and watch the improvements that you make as a person. Alright, so I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I really hope this has helped. And I wish you the best. Alright? Take care. I salute you. See y'all later.